Gurltaux. Every
Hello.
come to play, catch a vibe, don't delay.
Ow. I'm standing out there.
Facebook, YouTube streams.
In there.
Scrolling through your daily
Screens
feed.
off. I didn't see it.
Don't miss out. Join the fun and see what Girl Talks is all about. Keeping it real, it's what we do. So tune in.
So I've been just standing there all. I walked around to the other door. I saw dogs barking.
A beat chatter, it's our routine.
And Steve's like, "What?
Don't miss out. Join the fun and see what Girl Talks is all about. Gurltaux is who we are. Come hang with us on your tablet, phone, or screen. Anywhere Girl Talks can be seen.
There's no door.
Don't miss out. Join the fun, see what Girl Talks is all about.
I think it's a door.
I would have seen your message in a minute. I was down here getting so I would have looked there in a minute and been like, oh,
adore. Come back daily to get some more.
I did that because of the bid.
Right.
Girl Talk Show, don't miss out. Join the fun, see what Girl Talks is all about. Gurltaux is who we are.
I also
Come hang with us on your tablet, phone, or screen. Anywhere Girl Talks can be seen.
Now I know that
Girl Talk Show, don't miss out. Join the fun, see what Girl Talks is all about.
So Steve and I have this thing in the house.
Gurltaux. Log in now, watch our show. Likes and comments, let them flow.
I'm an idiot. And the other one yells, you're an idiot!
Every day we're on our way. Girl Talk Show is here to stay.
The Grinch movie.
Oh, yes.
When he
Don't
used to
miss
echo
out.
and he's
Join
like,
the
I'm
fun,
an
see
idiot.
what
And his
Girl
echo
Talks
replies,
is
you're
all
an idiot! So we do that all. Of course, I forgot to
Walking down this road tonight.
my blonde.
Happy Thursday, we're an
About the
idiot.
things we fight. Addiction knocking at my door. E&T wants so much more. We walk the walk and talk the talk. Right here on Girl Talk, on the path where we belong. Standing strong through the storm. Together we'll move along. Searching for a brighter day, holding tight along the way. Sobriety's a steep climb. E&T winning every time. Oh yeah, we walk the walk and talk the talk. Right here on Girl Talk, on the path where we belong. Standing strong through the storm. E&T bringing all of you along. Oh yeah, we walk the walk and talk the talk. Right here on Girl Talk, on the path where we belong. Standing strong through the storm. E&T bringing all of you along. Oh yeah, we walk the walk and talk the talk. Right here on Girl Talk, on the path where we belong. Standing strong through the storm. E&T bringing all of you along. Oh yeah, we walk the walk and talk the talk. Right here on Girl Talk, on the path where we belong. Standing strong through the storm. E&T bringing all of you along.
Hey.
Hello.
We are here. like it or not,
We're
we are
here.
here.
We're late.
I
Better
guess I
late than
could.
never.
Yeah, we're a little bit late, but that's okay. I we try to be on time, but work sometimes has to take precedence to our show.
Yeah.
So anyway, one of the things we're talking about is bad storms that are coming in. So that makes a concern, like do you leave or do you stay? And for some people, it is definitely better to go for your peace of mind. So question for you, if you have your animals with you and you went to the coast for the weekend to get away from it, would it give you that peace of mind that you need? Because even if you came home and your house was gone,
that's okay.
Yeah,
I have homeowners.
Life is more important.
Exactly. And the chickens, I would really feel sad, but logically I can't load up 50 chickens and go stay at an Airbnb. I'm like, it's all it says, pets accepted.
For all of you out there that have a farm, you need to start the Air Farm and Farm.
Yes, for all of us crazy people that get wigged out, but we have lots of farm animals.
Air Farm and Farm. There you go.
That's great. I bet that would work.
I mean, you come there, you bring your livestock, and they have like a barn stall thing for you to stick your shit in, but your payment is you have to muck out stalls, clean up their animals, feed, do whatever, because if you have your own livestock, most likely you know how to muck out a stall, you know how to clean up after chickens.
Exactly.
They could literally use that as free help for a weekend,
for sure.
And a safe place for you and your animals to stay. And many of us that have animals, I'm not going to lie, I wouldn't have any problem with going to a place where they said you can bring all your livestock, all your animals. If you got goats, bring your goats, your chickens, your cows, whatever, and we'll give you this barn and this stall, but you stay with your animals. Like bring a cot and you stay with your animals in that little. I wouldn't care.
For sure. If it was for an emergency situation,
right.
Absolutely.
Not like you're going to move in
not
for
like,
the week.
That's your vacation joints for the year. Hey kids, we're going to stay in a stall. We're bringing all your chores with us.
Some people go to Disney.
We're going to an Air Farm and Farm, kids. And not only that, but they have animals too, so we get extra.
Remember how you've been saying you wanted to have a donkey? Well, they got donkeys. You're going to be cleaning up after their donkeys. That brings a whole new National Lampoons in my head there.
Kidding.
You're going to like it.
Oh my God.
You're gonna enjoy it and you're gonna like it, but some people go to Disneyland, we take our pitchforks and we go and muck out someone else's stall.
We load the trailer and haul our farm somewhere else for the vacation.
You're like, you don't mind, right? Mom?
Oh my God.
I thought we were going to go to Hawaii. Well, yeah, but we can't get the chickens on the boat.
This was free. Shut up.
You have to work for your keep here. Oh my God. Funny story about living for your keep. So my son, I hope you don't mind me telling you a story about you in case you happen to be watching. So my son, I am a firm believer in you do you, boo. But I'm a firm believer in if an opportunity arises, you should take it.
Mhm.
And I am not that stringent person that is absolutely, you must go to college, you must do this, you must do that. Sometimes that's not for everybody.
Mhm. For sure.
And I think that when you're young, you should go and take every opportunity that might be possible. You should go and take every adventure that might be possible. You know, like if you're going to go skiing in Nepal or, you know, whatever, go do it.
For
Do it
sure.
while you're young,
For
because
sure.
you're probably not going to have as good a likelihood to be doing that when you're married with a wife and children.
Mhm.
She's not going to be like, so you're going to stay a ski bum? You know, like you're not going to go get a job and help pay for the house, and we're going to live out of our van.
Yeah. Down by the river.
Yeah. You know, so do things while you're young.
Yeah.
Physically,
Yeah.
you're capable of, you know,
For
backpacking
sure.
across Europe. Like that sounds fun. When I was 30,
Yeah. Exactly.
20s,
Yeah.
that does
know.
not sound fun in the least little bit at 54.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
it sounds like, ew. It sounds like I would die. I would just go over there and be like, you know, just dig that hole right there and I'll just climb in it and you can just put the dirt bag over me. I'll be all right. Just throw that backpack. Is there any food in that backpack? I'll just eat this until they come and get me. Until the animals just kill
they
me.
eat me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I can't do the things that I could do when I was in my 20s and 30s.
For sure.
Even in my 40s.
Mhm.
So enjoy it while you have that
That's
opportunity, you know, because it doesn't always turn out the magical way that it is presented to you. You know, like come and backpack across Europe and everybody's friendly and you can get a hostel here and a hostel there. And they're like, slam the door, get out of here. We don't want you, you know, like, so everything does not always come out rainbows and butterflies and peaches and
sure.
cream and, you know, the whole thing.
For sure.
So my son had an opportunity to go to Hawaii. Now he was a ski instructor.
Okay. Lots of
And a
opportunity there.
skier. And he was like, I don't know. It was during the summer, so he always went and did something else during the summer. And he's like, I think I'm going to move to Hawaii. I said, you're going to move to Hawaii? He's like, yeah, I'm going to move to Hawaii. I'm like, you do know that like they do have skiing there. Technically, they have a ski resort on the Big Island, because the Big Island ironically has every climate.
I know.
It's amazing.
Wild.
It's amazing.
I know.
You drive 2 hours one way, you got
Yes.
snow, you could drive 2 hours the other way and get in the rainforest.
Yep.
And you drive. It has
It's
every
wild.
climate. It's crazy. It
Yeah.
even has a desert area. I
Yeah.
think I don't remember, there's like one climate that it's missing, but I don't remember what that is. Anyway, so he got an opportunity to move to Hawaii. He's going to move to Hawaii. And it was a bring your stuff and you're going to live at this coffee plantation and your room and board is covered by you working. You will pick coffee beans and you have to pick X amount of bags, 30 pound bags or something of coffee. And I think you had to do so many and your room and board was covered. And then after that, you were paid like $30 a bag or something. Okay. So he's going to go to Hawaii. Asked me what I thought. I said, well, this is a time to do it when you're young. You know, like you can do that. You know, you can pick coffee beans and you can just hop on a plane. You've got no responsibilities here. You don't have a wife. You don't have children. You know, you have your mom and dad. You don't have a lot of any other things that you have to worry about. Car's paid for. He can just leave it at home. We bought it for him. Piece of crap. We bought it at auction or whatever. So I supported it. Like, go ahead, you know, pack your stuff and go. We'll take you to the airport, yada, yada. So he takes off for Hawaii and he gets there and he calls and lets us know he landed and everything. And where he was going, he was on the Big Island. So where he was going was like, I don't remember, a 4.5, 5 hour bus ride from the airport to where the plantation was that he was going to
Oh, wow.
live at and work. 5 or 6 hours. Yeah, it was like an 8-hour bus ride because the bus was so broken, piece of shit, that it like broke down twice on the way there. I mean, you've seen the pictures from Mexico in those crazy buses. Well, that was pretty much this Hawaii bus. And so obviously not a tourist bus.
Right. Right.
And so he finally gets to the property, and he's supposed to let the guy know that he's there and he's gonna come down with his truck and pick him up. So he lets the guy know, he lets us know he's finally made it to this coffee plantation. And he gets there, and I guess he's waiting on the guy. He's sitting on his suitcases and he waits for the guy to come down. And the guy comes down and picks him up, takes him up to the main house, and is showing him around. And so he calls me in like an hour and a half, 2 hours after he had called me and said he was waiting on the guy. And he calls, and I said, "Hey, what's going on? How's it going?" He goes, "Oh my God, Mom." He goes, "When I say I don't have a pot to piss in," he goes, "I mean literally, there's not even a pot to piss in." And I was like, "Oh shit." I said, "I thought room and board was provided." He goes, "Yeah, if you call a lean-to that's completely open to the elements of room and board, and it has no water, no electricity, it doesn't have walls. It literally, when I say it does not have a pot to piss in, it doesn't even have a pot." And he's like, "Okay, I would have been fine with this if the guy had been honest with me."
Right.
Like there's no resources. He's like, "I could have brought a lean-to and some rope and a knife, but I
Right.
brought my Xbox." He's like, "What the fuck am I gonna do with my Xbox?
Oh no.
What am I gonna do with all my stuff?" He's got like 3 suitcases of
my
stuff,
God.
and he's and there's nothing. And he goes, "And the coffee?" He goes, "If there's coffee on this weed plantation, it's hidden." Because he's like, "There's no coffee to be seen." He's like, "Are you kidding me?" So and this was prior to it being like
Oh, my
really
God,
legal. And I
that's
don't know what the
funny.
legality is in Hawaii now with weed,
don't know.
but it was totally illegal. So
Are you serious?
it was a weed farm. And he's like, so if they raided it, he'd have gone to jail. So he's like, "I don't know what to do. I'm freaking the fuck out. I'm all the way here in Hawaii." And I said, "Do you want me to just get you a plane ticket home?" And he said, "No, Mom, I took this on. I'm gonna deal with it." And I said, "All right." He goes, "I'm leaving though. I'm not staying here. Fuck that dude. You know, I'm out." And I said, "Well, what are you gonna do?"
Wow.
He's like, "Well, I just found a bicycle buried on the property." And he's like, "And understand, this is a bicycle I just found like on the property, just buried." He's like, "It doesn't have tires. It has wheels, but it does not have tires." And he's like, "So I've got my suitcases all strapped together, and I'm going to ride this rickety ass bicycle down the mountain or down the hill to where the bus stop is. And I'm going to wait for that fucking bus when it comes back by, and I'm going to take the bus." So my niece lives in Hawaii. She lives on Kona, and she was going to the University of Hawaii at the time. So I told him to call her, and he did. And he took the bus, I think, a part way or whatever, and then she met him, picked him up and helped him, brought him back to her apartment. He stayed there for like a week, 10 days, something like that. And her roommates were getting a little bent out of shape because he's sleeping on the couch, and and he's trying to get a job, and
Mhm.
and finally she's like, they live in a university housing,
Oh.
not literally university housing, but like somebody who rents out
Off-campus
to
house.
university students, and if you're
yeah.
not a student, you can't live there. So her roommates were getting a little bent out of shape, like he's been here for too long,
Mhm.
So she's like, your stuff can stay, but you have to go. You got to go find somewhere else. And again, Dad and I kept offering, we'll buy you a
Mhm.
plane ticket home. He's like, no, I'm not going to buy a plane ticket. I'm going to tough it out. I got to find a job and a place to live or whatever. And so he calls me like the next, and of course I'm mom, so I'm in a panic and I'm worried about my
Mhm.
kid. And
And it's not like you can just get in the car and drive there.
yeah, I can't just drive over there and pick him
Yeah.
up. And I mean, Alexis was there, and Jim was also there, her grandpa, and it's Kristen's dad and Kristen's
Okay.
daughter. And so he had at least somebody there.
Mhm.
But so now he's looking for a job, and he's trying to find one that's a live in, work for me kind of thing.
Okay.
And so he calls me up, and I'm feeling so bad. I just wanted him to get a plane ticket home. I am really proud of him that he didn't just bail and let mommy and daddy bail him out. But he calls us up and he said, so I'm really cold and I don't know what I'm going to do right now. I'm like kind of freaking out. And I said, why? What's going on? He's like, well, I had nowhere to sleep, so I slept up in a tree last night. He climbed up into a palm tree and slept on the branch of the palm tree. And he said, I was sleeping till the rain woke me up, and then I was soaking wet. He's like, so I walked over to this laundromat, and he's like, I put all my clothes in the dryer. He had a little bit of money,
Mhm.
so it's not like he was there totally penniless or
Mhm.
anything. He's like, I put all my clothes in the dryer, but I'm naked in my big, huge snow coat that he wore at the ski resort
Mm.
with all his clothes in the dryer so they could dry. And he's like, I'm waiting for those to dry. And he's talking to me while this is going on. He's like, I'm waiting for those to dry. When they're dry, I'm going to put my coat in the dryer. And I'm like, honey, just come home. And he's
Wow.
like, no, I got to stick it out. I got to at least do something to get, that I didn't just come here and fail. And I want to leave because I want to leave, not because I failed. Okay. So I made the suggestion, and I wouldn't make the same suggestion today because I think a lot of predators have gotten a hold of Craigslist, but at the time Craigslist was very good.
Okay.
And I said, just
Right.
put your situation out on Craigslist. To be
Mhm.
honest with you,
Mhm.
you're on the Big Island. Put it in the Big Island and say, hey, I came here for a job. It turned out to be bullshit.
Mhm.
And I'm here with my stuff, and I don't know what to do, and I have nowhere to live, and I have no job. I just need a job, and I need somewhere cheap rent to pay. And of course, Dad and I would have sent him something if he needed
Mhm.
extra money for rent or
Right.
something. And so he said he got so many people that messaged him, dude, I got a tent. Dude, I got some food. I got some clothes. You can go out to this beach and they will let you put up a tent for like 7 days, and then you just have to move. And I've got a knife and ropes, and everybody was offering to donate him all sorts of stuff. And there was this one man, elderly man in his 70s, that sent him a message, and he said, are you serious about working for your room and board? He's like, I have a property. I have an actual room, and running water and power and all that. I need somebody to work on getting the foliage down because I've got a lot of overgrowth. I just can't maintain it anymore. I need help. And you can exchange, for room and board, and then go get a job. You just don't have to pay rent. Your job will pay you for whatever your needs are. And he calls me and tells me, what do I do? I said, well, maybe meet the guy. I said, be skeptical. because this could be a scam or it could be some
Right.
creeper. You
Right.
don't want to go to somebody's property and he's really, can you dig that hole and you're going in it, that kind of thing. I do trafficking. That's what I do.
Right.
Like you're going to go with me and we're going to go find these girls, like be
For sure.
prepared
For
for something. And it turned out to be a really nice older man that just needed help. And he started working and clearing his field and, he was working the land. And he stayed there for quite some time until his ski resort actually finally sent him a letter offering him more money to come back. Because that's part of the reason he left. He was like, I'm tired of being treated. I've been doing this since at this point, he had been doing it for like pretty close to 12 years.
Mhm.
And he's like, I'm worth more than the average Joe that comes and teaches. He taught, kids that want to go to the Olympics. He taught freestyle skiing. So like when they would do the tricks and stuff like that on skis rather than snowboard. And so he taught more, advanced stuff, and he was still getting paid very similar to the ones that were Joe smoke some weed and ski a little bit. He had more, and he had certifications, and he was a amazing instructor for kids with disabilities.
Okay.
Like he was the instructor for disabilities, like so good with the kids with disabilities. And
That's
when
super.
he had a class, he preferred the kids with disabilities. They listened better and they learned better than the other ones. And with the helicopter parents that seem to think they don't have to, I've got money. I paid for this. And the other kids are like, why are you so mean to the instructor? So, but I couldn't do that today. So I think it's amazing when people go and try to do something new and, suck it up. It might not be the rainbows and butterflies that you were presented with. It might not be this magical thing that you thought it was going to be, and sometimes it literally is too good to be true. And sometimes it's turns out to be good. So sometimes you have to take those risks, So anyway, that's my story for my son of taking a chance on something. But so the other thing that I wanted to talk about is hypocrisy. Like how we deal with it in our own lives and watching it unfold in our government is another part of it. You got the left is coming unbelievably unglued about Donald Trump having a Tesla car at the White House. But yet Biden had a Jeep.
And he actually drove it.
And he actually got in and drove the Jeep around the property. Trump didn't even do that.
And then Biden drove a Ford truck on some sort of racetrack or something.
Oh, like he hightailed that one.
Yeah. So like it's not unusual for presidents to endorse or have photo ops or whatever. But what I really see it as is, so the left thinks that they're going to cripple Elon and make him broke, which I think is just completely laughable. And I saw Officer Tatum. He was like, dude, the dude's worth $400 billion. Even if he loses 10 billion, he still has $390 billion. Like, you not buying a Tesla is not going to cripple him.
These people on The View are like, well, if we bury the company, then he'll be worth nothing. And I'm like, you do know that he builds rockets for NASA. This is just one piece of his pie. Yeah,
And
he owns 20%. Yes, he is the main owner, but he still only owns 20%.
yeah,
So,
yeah,
and
you're not just hurting him. He's not the one in there building the cars. Like you're hurting all the people that work for the company. You're hurting. It's a trickle down effect, and it's all because Trump picked him.
well,
and
the thing is that
they
bothers
hate
me
Trump,
so much is
and that's all it is.
exactly. Well, and the thing that bothers me so much about it, and that's why I call it such an amount of hypocrisy. And it's not just that Trump had the Tesla and then Biden had a Jeep at the White House.
Mhm.
It's that, prior to him going public that he supported Trump, the videos out there, them touting Tesla and the energy efficiency of the Tesla car, and we love, and he's amazing, and he's going to be known
He's a
as
genius, and he's so innovative, and he's this and that. Yeah,
and now he's
garbage.
He's Hitler. He's the
Yeah,
worst thing that there. He's stupid.
Yeah,
He's not even smart.
Yeah.
He's the dumbest man on earth. Like how can you say this when, like, do you not remember when you had it coming out of this side of your mouth and you were saying something completely different? And, that's the part of the stuff that bothers me. And it has bothered me since Trump ran for office the first time. Like, how could he have been the one you want to know? The one you want your name associated with. You want to be seen in pictures with him. Whoopi Goldberg taking pictures with him. She loved Donald Trump. She had him on her show all the time. I love Donald Trump. I love Donald Trump. Oh, you're a Republican? I hate Donald Trump. Like he went, and I hated that from the beginning because of the hypocrisy. It's like they were given a cue card. Oh shit. Is this for real? Is this really real? I have to follow this now. It says you hate Donald Trump.
Well, what?
Oh shit. But I really like the guy. You want to keep your job? I hate Donald Trump. He is the worst person on the planet. I really like the guy. Like, is it okay if I like him personally? No. You have to show that you hate him all. Okay, I hate him. I hate him. I hate him. He and the thing is they've lied so much to themselves even that they now believe it.
Yes. Like
sure. I think Whoopi fully believes that. I mean, now I don't. It's National Women's Day the other day. It's Women's Month, and now it's Irish Month. And one of our beautiful women that we both probably love so much has flown the coop and moved to Ireland.
Yeah, I was pretty pissed to find that out. I was like, get her out of my ancestors' country. What the hell?
I'm like, who
Why'd
let
you let
her there?
in? Yeah, like what? My gosh.
But again, the hypocrisy.
Like,
she went to a place that's like primarily white. She didn't go to Africa. She didn't go somewhere where there's actual oppression.
And they're conservative over there.
Quite a bit.
Like they're not a liberal nation, really. Like,
well,
there's
there's segments
like
of
the bigger cities like Dublin.
But in the whole, for the most part, most of them really like Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Most of them really do.
Yeah.
And but they also had a wake up call with a lot of the Islamic terrorist Muslims that were trying really hard, and they have a problem with it. And once they saw there was a problem with it, they're like, Trump's not so bad. He kind of had the right idea here. We shouldn't just let them infiltrate, and you can come as immigrants, but if you don't assimilate, they're going to try to take over. So you can't allow that to happen. Just like deporting this student from the college that was, pushing the Islamic crap and pushing for terrorism, basically, at the college. And they're like, how dare you deport him? Yeah, you're right. We should totally keep the people who want to destroy our country and let them stay here. Like once they're discovered, we should totally just be like, well, we know you want to blow some shit up, but could you please just not? Would that be all right? I know you're trying to recruit, but could you like recruit quietly and just don't blow anything up? Like, I mean, the when you say it in those ways, it's like, how is it not that stupid?
It is
Like,
stupid.
how do the people have the ability to sit on a camera? And I'm talking about these journalists like CNN or whatever. And so you're gonna say these people that are protesting Tesla are terrorists, but the people of January 6th aren't. They didn't bring any weapons.
They weren't firebombing.
They weren't firebombing and shooting at dealerships. Do you know the fact that there hasn't been a major injury from somebody at one of those facilities is a beautiful thing. They haven't actually, they shot with a gun at a dealership or two, and nobody has accidentally been shot by stray fire. We're really lucky about that. The ability to come completely unhinged, and then the media say, well, it's just peaceful protesting. I mean, I remember that when it was the BLM riots and all that, and they're like standing there with their microphones going, it's mostly peaceful protesting, and they're just standing up for their rights while there's shit burning behind them, including a cop car. And they're like, but you don't see.
It's nothing. It's nothing to see here. It's fine. It's fine. Like I remember seeing that going, how is this not?
Do they have a blind reporter?
Yeah.
And they're just feeding him lines, and he's just like, what was that just whizzed by my head? Oh, it was nothing, don't worry about it. It was a bird. A bird just flew by your head. Oh, okay.
And then I'm like, are they even there? Like, is that just green screen behind them? Like, are they even there? Like, how is this acceptable by anybody?
It's just peaceful protesting. What was that? Nothing? Why is my hair on fire?
I know.
Don't worry, it wasn't anything. Just keep talking and keep telling the camera that it was nothing. Hey, real quick, before you continue, put that fire out on your head. Okay, so it's all peaceful protesting. I mean, like
for real.
And the rest of it, I mean, it's the same thing as Biden is the best he's ever been. I've never seen him more sharp. Oh, look at him fall. He didn't just fall. He was getting down to tie his shoe. He has Velcro shoes on, and they come loose every now and then.
Oh my gosh.
Hey, he's never been more sharp. Look, if only you could fall going upstairs. See, he's so sharp, he didn't fall down the stairs. See, if he was not sharp, he would have fallen and then fallen down the stairs. But he's so sharp, he can stay falling up the stairs. Look at him ride this bike. It's amazing. He's incredible. Watch him ride the bike. Oh, crap. It looks like he's fallen on the bike. He did not fall on the bike. He was actually riding along, and some Trump supporter threw a stick in his tire. Didn't you see the runaway? It's like that was a runaway fruiting.
Yeah.
He went that way.
That's so what it was like. And everybody was eating it up.
And they're like, yeah, I spend hours with him, and I swear I can't do the same cartwheels he does. And Republicans are like, That was called falling. Like, he was falling. He
Yeah.
was not doing cartwheels on the east lawn. He was falling down. Like,
I don't know.
Jill's like, come with me. It's this way. He's like, but wait, I've got
But-
to say hi to my friend. There's nobody there. And he's
Yeah,
like, but we
like-
were having a great conversation. Isn't so-and-so here?
Even the world leaders at that one
Oh,
event
yeah.
had to like redirect him back
No,
over
over
to
here,
it's like-
Biden.
Like they totally just threw him under the
The
bus that
event is
day.
going on over here.
Yeah.
I don't know why you're wandering off into the field. This is not Wizard of Oz. You are not looking for the yellow brick road.
Oh my
He's like, but
God.
I'm looking for Oz. Where is he? I could have sworn
He's
I put
Epstein.
myself in for the part of the scarecrow. If only I had a brain. Like,
Dude, it was a really hard thing to watch.
it was. And we've talked about it before that I personally think it was cruel.
It was cruel.
It was cruel.
But in the interim, our country got tossed upside down.
Yeah.
And there was no leadership there. There was no like it was really just mind-blowing to me how like a couple hours on January 6th where some people made some bad choices. Like, dude, I've seen that shit happen at concerts.
Yeah.
I've seen like and it wasn't like you all need to go and tear down the walls and bust through the windows, but that's how they wanted to spin it. Like Donald Trump was like, all and no, some people were pretty riled up, and those are the extremists on the right.
Well, and there was an
And I
awful
don't
lot of
support them
infiltrators that
either.
pushed that, and
then
Antifa that were
because
involved
there was
in that.
so many like props that were set up around the city, and like there was so much involved with it, but it was like there was no comparison to the weeks and weeks and weeks of destruction that the country
The
had
hundreds
to
of millions of
watch.
dollars that were destroyed during the riots, and padlocks, chains and padlocks being put on the police department. The
Yeah.
police department lit on fire with
Yeah.
cops inside.
Yeah.
Like, hey, how many people?
And nobody
Now that we're
was-
talking about that, how many people are facing federal charges or state charges
I
for
think that's
attempted murder?
0. I think.
What about for the destruction?
I think that's also 0.
How about for
It
the
was
theft?
it was so effective that they even made it a misdemeanor up to $1,000 in California. So now you can just run in and rob up to $999.
Yeah, and then they complain that the stores won't open
And-
in.
Yeah.
Why won't they have a Starbucks here? Why won't they have
Yeah.
a Walmart? Well, because you robbed them.
Yeah.
Like you robbed them blind.
Yeah, you take everything and there's nothing left, and that's it.
And they're like, and it's racist to put things under lock and key.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to tout that crap of it being all black people, because it's not.
No, it's not.
It's all shitheads.
Yes, it was an equal opportunity shithead event that took place.
I mean, you go to Seattle where a lot of this stuff happened, and Seattle is primarily white,
Mhm.
and a lot of junkies.
Mhm.
I mean, they have turned that place into junkie haven.
Yes.
If,
Yes.
if you want to try some junk and shit, put it in your arm with a needle, you don't know
Mhm.
where the needle's been, go down to Seattle
Yeah.
or San Francisco.
Yeah. Oh, that too.
Either one,
Yeah.
you can kind of
Pelosi's pride.
you can pick up a rat infested needle at either place.
Yeah.
It's all right.
You even have choices. There's lots.
Yeah. Like, I mean, the hypocrisy that is abundant,
Mhm.
even about the budget right now, talking
Mhm.
about shutting down our government, the government shutdown. But there's videotape of all the way back from when Obama was in office talking about we've got to clean up the waste, fraud, and abuse. Schumer talking about that we might have to take some things away from Medicare in order to clean up the fraud and waste and abuse. We might have to take some things away, but what we do is we take away the bad and we keep the good. Where have I heard that? Have you heard anything like that recently? No, I'm imagining no, we haven't heard anything like that at all. Like, now granted, now Trump has recently talked about making no tax for people that make $150,000 or less a year. I'm kind of torn with that one. Like, of course, would I want to not pay taxes? Yes, because I fall in that bracket. Would I not want to pay taxes? Sure. But what I also am concerned about with that is you either make no tax for all, or you make no tax for tips, no tax for overtime, stuff like that. I'm fine with. When I think you start making it where no tax for under 150,000 or less, there are going to be a lot of people who will never strive to do better, who will never strive to do more, because I don't want to get over that tax bracket.
That does make sense.
There are people that already do that. Like, I don't want to get into the 6 figures or 7 figures because I don't want to hit that tax bracket mark. So they do everything they can, especially if they own a business, they do everything they can to liquidate as much as they can by buying new equipment or whatever, so they never meet that next tax bracket. So I worry that that will be the new welfare state, is you just stay within that line, because to be realistic, most people, the average income they say is in the 63,000 a year, I think, is what they say the average Americans make. An average household really has to make at least $100,000 a year to do fairly well, to have a decent household, and money not being such a object that they can't eat. To be able to do anything, that you got to make at least kind of that, even if it's double income.
For sure.
You've got to make at least that. And so if you make that tax bracket of, sure, you're going to have more money in your pocket, but at the same time, is that going to make people not strive to reach the next level, not want to even reach the next level?
That makes sense.
And it makes me concerned that just turns the 150 and below the new welfare state. So we don't give you welfare, you just don't pay taxes. It makes me concerned that could breed laziness in a sense. I mean, you have to work fairly decently to make that kind of a wage. You're not sloughing. You're not making that flipping burgers at McDonald's.
Yeah, exactly.
You do have to have a little bit of something to be able to make at least that much. But is that going to make them not want to push for more? Is it going to make people not want to be an entrepreneur and open a small business? Is that going to breed only big businesses getting bigger, and the mom and pops like you and I to not want to get any bigger? I don't want to grow any more. Now at our ages, I'm not in that point where I want to grow anymore. I'm fine with it only being me.
I've plateaued out on my career, and I'm good.
But people coming up,
yes,
say you taught somebody how to be a groomer, and you're at the age where you're getting ready. You're looking at where I'm going to be retiring. Who could I leave in charge and give this off to, and say, hey, you can buy into my business and you can take it when I retire, type of thing, where those other people are going to be like,
And it doesn't take much to hit 150,000 in the grooming industry.
No.
It really doesn't.
No. So somebody buying
So-
into that would be like, oh, I don't know that I want to own the
Yeah.
business because then I'm going to make too
Or
much
they're
money
just going to keep it, or they'll just keep it the way it is and not grow it, which
and not try to grow it.
doesn't provide more opportunity for other people to do that job. And yeah, it's a,
So
I can see that.
it could be a double-edged sword,
Mhm.
you know.
Mhm.
It's not just cut and dry on that level. You know, not paying taxes sounds amazing, but at the same time, we still have things that have to be paid through taxes, like our
Mhm.
federal roads.
Mhm.
I think we have visitors. We
I
have doggy
know, like,
visitors.
hi,
You know,
you
the-
just came down like lightning.
You
Hello.
did. Hi, guys.
What's that?
You know, you have the roads that have to be maintained.
Right. Right.
Our infrastructure
Mhm.
has to be maintained.
Mhm.
Fire,
Fire,
PD,
yeah, exactly. Like,
hospitals. You know, I
yeah.
mean, we have things that have to be maintained, and some of it is through taxes. Now, of course, eliminating federal taxes shouldn't affect your state budgets for fire, EMS, and stuff,
Right.
because that should come out of your property tax and your
Mhm.
your grocery, your food tax. You know, and some
Which
places
is weird.
some places charge tax for food.
Yeah,
Like here you pay for
Yeah.
anything you buy is
It's
taxed.
tax. Anything.
Out in the West Coast where we came from, food is exempt from
Yep.
tax. You have tax on liquor, beer, wine, any
Yeah.
of that. Of course, we sell liquor and beer and wine all in one location.
Yeah.
In the grocery store.
Exactly.
You know, like it's
at
not
at the gas station you could buy liquor.
Mhm.
Like,
now it is
it's-
different on the different states because California and Nevada are literally right next to each
Mhm.
other, and Nevada has no state tax and California has
Yes.
state tax.
Yes.
But the reason why Nevada doesn't have state tax is because we have gaming,
yes.
and gaming provides the money that we need for the state tax, so we don't have to tax our people.
Right.
But like my husband lived in Nevada, but he worked in California because the base that he worked at was in California. So he paid a state tax. Now he got a good chunk of it back every year because we could prove that he didn't live in the state. So, but they still kept a portion, a fairly big portion actually. But it's like you have to be careful with this no taxing. And when they say, well, the tariffs will take care, you know, Trump talking about the tariffs, and the tariffs could take up the difference for taxing, not in the manner in which it's being described right now, and not in the manner in which even Trump has talked about, where he's talking about reciprocal tariffs.
Mm-hmm.
And to the point of him, it has been said, it's been talked about. I've watched on several people's channels where they're discussing what he's really trying to do is eliminate the tariffs on us by saying reciprocity, the same across the board, you know, equal, all those things. Well, in some states, some countries, we're paying a 230% tax. Did the American people know that? Did y'all know that? Like in the UK, I think it's 230 something percent we pay in tariffs. And that's anything we buy, anything that we send to the UK. Anything that's from the UK to us is like a 230 something percent tax. That's what we pay if you buy something. Now that granted, I don't see a whole lot of stuff that say made in the UK.
No, there's not. It really isn't.
It's the one London store in your town where you can go buy that Earl Grey tea and your crumpets and shit.
For sure.
Yeah, there's not a ton of import. But I think that's also part of it. The reason why there's not a ton of import. Now, I do like European. There's a few things that I like that are from the UK. I have to go specifically find the British store to buy them.
But those are also like
And they're
located too, like,
expensive
but
as
that's why you
hell.
have the duty-free shops at the
Mhm.
airports and stuff. So that is where like you don't pay those tariffs at
Right.
the duty-free store.
Right.
Like
Go to
it
the
says
airport.
tax-free, but
Just
it's really tariff-free because
Go to the airport and buy your
the
shit.
yeah, I mean,
I
get
mean,
all
granted-
your alcohol at the airport.
Granted, it is after you've gone through security.
Yeah,
So, but you have to
yeah,
buy an airplane
yeah,
ticket.
yeah.
Buy an airplane ticket from
To save on
Athens
tariffs.
to Huntsville or Huntsville to Nashville.
No, it has to be international.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, you know,
Darn it.
you can fly to California. That's international.
Almost.
Pretty
Almost.
close. But the whole point is that they are tariffing the crap out of us.
Mhm.
And that's why you don't see a lot of stuff imported from those countries.
Yeah.
And I found a London store like everywhere. Everywhere I've ever lived. I haven't looked for one here. Because there are certain cookies I like that are British. There are certain things I like that are British. And that's because I grew up overseas. And so, but anything you buy there, outrageously priced.
Oh yeah.
Like a container of tea, you know, I mean, it's good tea, but it's probably like $30 for one small pack of tea versus here getting, you know, Earl Grey tea, British tea that's made somewhere else and brought in that's not even from the UK is probably $5 for the same amount of tea. So I mean, like that's the whole point of it, is eliminating reducing the tariffs, eliminating, you know, what's good for you is good for us. We'll both pay the same amount. And from what I've been watching and reading, listening to Charlie Kirk, listening to Dan Bongino, several of these different people, is really what he's working towards is an elimination between the two countries. Like if we take and we tariff the crap out of Canada, and Canada is tariffing the crap out of us, and that's why he's doing it, because they are tariffed into Canada is way more. And if they come back and say, okay, rather than reciprocal, how about we just eliminate the tax between our countries, or the tariffs? Well, then there won't be any tariffs. So that's not going to make up the difference for taxes. And if that works in all the countries he's talking about doing this to, where the reciprocation is reciprocal, meaning the exact same amount, it won't give any money towards taxes. And yes, we are the ones that pay for that part of it when we purchase goods. But, you know, the highest price stuff is like your TVs, your cell phones. It's also part of the reason why cell phones are so expensive. But if the tax is reduced or eliminated, the tariff, then you don't pay that extra amount, so it's not going to go into our budget. If the tariffs are super, super high, and I'm like, okay, I really want this fancy thing right here, this expensive gadget, and I'm willing to pay the price it costs that covers those tariffs or whatever, then it's my choice to buy that. It's also my choice to look at that and go, well, I'm not paying, you know, whatever it is for that product. And then it can open the doors for American companies to make up the difference. But at the same time, I see it all the time. I don't know about you, but these American-made products are lesser quality, lesser, you know, like we've been looking at generators for the house, for the rig, stuff like that. And there's Patriot, what are they called? Patriot something or other. Anyway, they have a generator, and it's called the 1800 or something. And if you look at the stats on it, it only has 700 watts or whatever. It's really small.
Wow.
costs $2,700 through this Patriot company.
way.
700 watt hours, I think it is. And so
Oh,
that
jeez.
wouldn't run shit
No.
for
it
any
wouldn't.
length of time.
No.
And it's like $2,700. You can buy one that's 3,800 watts for the same price, like $2,000 from a Chinese manufacturer.
Mm-hmm.
So I do have an issue with American made companies, American made brands, that their stuff might be really good. I'm not going to bash on anyone. There's a certain coffee company. I freaking love their coffee. Their coffee is amazing, but I can't financially afford a $25, $30 bag of coffee when I drink coffee every day.
Right.
If I only bought that, which I do, when I go somewhere, I might buy certain ones of their coffee, but I keep it in a drawer. I only make it when I have gas.
Okay.
It's a specialty. It's like when I'm going to do a cappuccino, I'm going to use the cappuccino machine. I will use that coffee. That's the coffee I grind, and I only buy it in beans. So I keep it sealed and I buy it in beans. It's not already pre-ground, and I grind it as I need it because it's so expensive. And they're doing well because there are a lot of patriots that will buy this stuff. But at the same time, like, I can't afford that for my everyday coffee. Not in a million years can I afford that as my everyday coffee. So the same thing goes with your everyday American products. We can't afford them. I mean, people just really can't. I mean, you talk about egg prices. If actual people that had chickens were really fully selling their chicken eggs, excuse me, not their chickens, but selling their eggs, like as a business, they couldn't make it.
Oh, there's no way. There's no.
Yeah,
There's no way.
they would have to charge more than what you buy them for at the grocery store in order to make it as a business. So you selling your 18-pack or your 12-pack of eggs, your dozen eggs for $4 because you're like, I'm undercutting the little man. Oh, it's because you're selling them to 2 or 3 of your friends.
Exactly.
And you can.
Yeah.
And that's fine.
You're not supporting your
But you're not
family
trying
on
to
that.
support your family on $4 a dozen. Do you have 500 chickens?
Yeah, exactly.
Because you can't keep up with 500 chickens at
No.
$4 a pack right now.
No.
You just can't.
No.
Feed alone wouldn't feed them. So people don't think some of this stuff through.
They don't.
They look at the immediate gratifications and, well, I'll show them. Just like, excuse me, people thinking, well, I'll just run out and get a Tesla right now. Because I said it yesterday. I said I want to totally support him. I wouldn't mind buying a Tesla if I could afford to buy one, but I will never buy one as long as it can only go 400 miles to a charge, because I do a lot of road tripping. I plan my road trips based on how far I can drive for the day, and it's usually 600-700 miles I will go in a day or more. Well, I can't do that if I've got to stop for 6 hours for it to charge a full battery,
Well, I think electric cars are BS anyway, because it takes fossil fuel to get them charged. So, like, whatever.
Well, I mean, if you're doing it more of a novelty thing, or you're doing it just because you want one, not necessarily for this whole environmental thing, if that's your excuse, it's bullshit. But
they are bullshit also on the fact of you can only go 400 miles on a charge. Like, what good is that? What good does that do you? Like,
well, I mean, I can see it for somebody who lives in DC. Like,
well, if it's like your run around town car, yeah. If it's just that,
if that's all it's for, and you're not
doing,
and you're doing it for the novelty of the car, like the Tesla, the driving features, all the things.
If it makes you happy,
if it's just to get it,
you're
because
not getting in it going,
look at me, I'm virtue signaling
again. You know,
I'm
like
so proud of my green
I am
energy.
such a good person.
Yeah, you know,
Yeah, like
for those
that's-
reasons, it's bullshit.
Yeah, it's bullshit.
Because where are you plugging it in? Your ass?
Yeah, exactly. It's not solar.
Are you charging
It's
it
not
with
solar.
what?
That energy that you're pulling into that car is coming from friggin' fossil fuel
Yeah, like you don't
and no other source.
you don't
That's what
plug
it's
it
coming
into your
from.
cow and get it from
Yeah.
his farts.
Like no, not at all. Like it's such.
I mean, if that was the
craziness.
case, these people could just lay in their rooms and plug it into themselves because they're so full
They're
of
gassy.
shit.
Yes, you're just gassy. No, but it's crazy. Like I just think
If you
electric
get it
cars are
because
crazy.
it's cool, you know, like I have a hybrid and
Mhm.
I love my hybrid,
Now hybrids are different. That's a different story,
right? Because
Like,
it's half and half.
Right.
Like I still
Right.
have to get fuel. But when I first got my car, and this can tell you the difference, when I first got my Honda, and it was very expensive car. Very expensive car. It was not a cheap car by any means. When I first got it though, like I could drive from Reno to LA
Mhm.
and still have
Mhm.
fuel left in
Mhm.
my tank.
Right.
I could go, I drove to San Francisco and it was 61 miles to the gallon.
Wow, that's amazing.
Now that's when I first got it.
Mhm.
The batteries have depleted over time. You
Right.
know, I mean, we're almost at 300,000 miles on that car.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So now when
That's a lot.
when I first got the car, and you know, you fuel it up and it tells you how much miles you have remaining in your tank.
Mhm.
And when I first got it, we'd fuel up, and we bought it at 3 miles. It had 3 miles on the car, and you fuel up, and I found what the optimal speed was. I could go between 68 and 69 miles an hour on the interstates and get really great gas mileage. The minute you went over 69 miles an hour, it went down the drain.
Oh, wow.
So I was very, very good at maintaining. I got pulled over in Texas for doing 68 on the interstate because it was a section of there that was like 80 miles an hour or something. I got pulled over for doing 68. The cop wanted to know if I was okay. And I said, so see here, I have this hybrid, and I was rubbing on her dash. I'm like, I got this hybrid here. And she gets really mad at me when I go over 69 miles an hour. And she decides that my amazing gas mileage, and I point to my monitor that you can, or the display, and I pointed to it, and he says, "Does that say miles per gallon?" And I said, "Yeah." He goes, "Is it really 58 miles per gallon?" I said, "That's what it's at right now." And he's like, "Holy shit, you get 50." I said, "Yeah, but if I go over 69, she farts and she gets real pissed. And that goes down to like 32. And he's like, "Oh yeah, I wouldn't be going over 68 either." And he's like, "You just set cruise control and that's what." I'm like, "Yeah, I just get in the right lane, let people pass me. I don't get all, but it actually has helped with my road rage a huge amount."
Oh, yeah, I bet.
Huge, because like
bet.
I just have to go, like, I don't care how fast it is. I don't have to speed by anybody. I don't have to hurry. Like it has really calmed my road rage down by knowing what I bought it for the gas mileage, and it defeats the purpose if I go rushing at 80 miles an hour and I'm getting 27 miles to the gallon.
Right.
Like, what's the fucking point?
Right.
And then I should just have a gas guzzler.
Exactly.
You know, I should have the
Yeah.
same as
Yeah.
everything else. So for that reason, and it also helps me not be a hypocrite, you know, because I hate it when people overly speed. I think it's I guess because I was in law enforcement and I know how to do math in my head. I mean, I'm not a mathematician by any means, but I can do math in my head. Do you know how many hours in a row you would have to drive to save 10 minutes? You have to drive 10 hours to save 10 minutes. So you doing 70 miles an hour in a 40 is not going to get you
No,
there any faster.
it's
And how
not.
many times have we been on the road where we see that person, vroom, 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 and he gets up right behind
Mhm.
you, and then he passes you and gets up, and you get to the light, and they're right
next to
there.
you.
Like,
Yeah.
hi, remember me? The one you tried to run off the road, you asshole? You know, I mean,
Always.
hypocrisy is huge in everyone.
Mhm.
It's in everything. It's in everyone, and I try not to be one.
Mhm.
You
Me
know,
too.
so for that reason, that helped me with that part of it. But I don't know that I would buy another one unless it was as good a quality. You know, like my
Yeah.
Honda was an amazing car, but now that I can tell that the batteries are depleting.
Mm.
When I would fill up my tank when we first got the car, it would say something like 640 miles that I could have on that
Mhm.
full tank of gas. Now it will barely hit like 500.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Now granted, that's because my husband drives it and he doesn't believe in the under 72 miles per hour thing.
Okay.
So every time my husband would drive my car, I knew he had drove it. You drove my car, didn't you? He's like, no, I didn't drive your car. Why do you say I drove your car? I'm like, because when I got in, it said the gas mileage was at 38. And I'm like, I know it's never at 38 when I'm driving the car.
That's funny.
He tells on himself. But you have to think about all these little things that we're dealing with right now, and try to think about it from that hypocritical side of things.
Mhm.
Look at the two sides of the face that they're throwing out there. And if you are a Democrat and you're a liberal or whatever, go and pull the videos of Schumer, Pelosi, Biden, Obama, Hillary Clinton, all these people talking about how we need to cut the fat out of the government, cut the waste, fraud, and abuse. We have to fix Medicare because too much is going out the door. In 2024, this is before Trump was elected. It was August of 2024. They put out that there was $72 billion of waste,
Mhm.
fraud, and abuse of mishandled funds in Medicare or in Social Security.
Mhm.
That means people that are dead that have still getting Social Security benefits, people who have changed someone's Social Security benefits to their name, but then they're dead now and they've been collecting it for 10 years. There are people that have been collecting their parents' Social Security
Mhm.
check for years because it never got stopped. Well, you're supposed to report it to Social Security that
Mhm.
they're dead. Like the funeral home doesn't notify everyone. You're supposed to.
Mhm.
Yes, the death certificates are recorded, but do you really think there's somebody sitting at the Social Security office checking every single town and every single state and every single city to see who's reported dead recently?
Mhm.
You're supposed to report that your husband, your wife, your spouse, your husband, your wife, your spouse. Well, I guess technically that is true. Um, your
parents,
your parents, your
yeah,
child,
yeah.
whatever is deceased, and so that they can stop the payments
Yep.
of whatever it is. If somebody's on SSDI, all those things are the same,
Mhm.
you know, and if you're taking that money when it didn't belong to you in the first place, one, that's fraud.
Mhm.
And I almost wonder if the Trump administration should put out a notification that says if you are receiving Social Security benefits from someone who is deceased, we will not press charges against you for past if you report it and have it stopped immediately. How many people would say, oh shit, before I get caught? You know,
Mhm.
and you could put that
Mhm.
out as the caveat. It's the same thing they're doing with the illegal aliens.
Mhm.
If you update your app and you report where you are and you self-deport, you can apply to come back again. But if you're caught, you will be not allowed to come back. And there's a ton of them self-deporting.
Mhm.
One of them was Rosie O'Donnell. She self-deported.
Was she here illegally? Like,
no, she just self-deported.
she identified as a
She identified as an illegal alien. I mean, it's the same as that one lady who said, being an illegal immigrant is not a
illegal.
criminal.
It's not a crime or whatever.
Yeah. That's about the biggest hypocrisy statement I've ever heard. It's not illegal to be illegal. It's not a crime to commit a crime. What?
So we don't have to wonder why they're so like whacked out thinking. Look at what they're hearing.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And they're like, yeah, darn it, that's right. It's not illegal to be illegal. Yeah, because she said it. She has a microphone and she's standing up higher.
And she's got a dick. Did you see that one recently where they ended a meeting because the Republican named the I guess she's from Maryland or Maine or something like that, and she's a he, so he said he, and the other guy virtue signaled for him her and just went off about, and then ended the meeting because he was so pissed. And he's like, she started to talk like, okay, he introduced me, I'm a he, really, technically, so let me, and okay, I just won't talk while you go and virtue signal over there for me. Oh my God. It wasn't even him that got upset about it.
Wow.
He just started to try to say what he was there for. Whatever, this other person had to jump in and just go ballistic because they misgendered him.
Unreal.
And his response was, did you not see the mandate from Donald Trump? And he's like, I'm not following that. But he was when he started to speak, because the time was his and you took it away from him by virtual signaling for him. He had no problem that I referred to him as a male. Mm-hmm. No problem. Or at least I watched it. Mm-hmm. Didn't appear to have a problem. Mm-hmm. So when it comes to the hypocrisy stuff, I am bothered by it so much because they're using all these things to try to do everything they can to destroy this country more and more and more. And we have to save the country, first of all. And we're not going to do it by listening to people who are talking out of both sides of their face. You can't do this, but we can. You can't do this, but we can. That's terrorism, but that's not, we good for you, but not for me. Those things can't work copacetically.
Well, and I don't think people like, I mean, this little post I made on social media, it was literally 3 sentences and it sent people flipping upside down, and they are legit hypocrites. Mm-hmm. Because the ones that flipped upside down and had a really big problem with it are some of the people that I was hoping were going to see it, and maybe it would go like, oh, well, we do the same thing when we get online and we say anybody that's a conservative is a Nazi, anybody that's a conservative, because I believe that their leadership is, and so therefore they are. And it's like, well, if you flip the script and play the same role, just with a different script, like they can't even see it.
No, they cannot see it.
And then they call you mentally ill.
Right.
And I was reading all these comments and I was just like, wow, this is unreal. Like people that actually know me in real life, who understood what I was saying, and who have a personal relationship with me, even tried to explain, you don't know her, like this is what she meant or whatever. And you had commented and other people, and it was like, And they literally tried to argue.
With
No,
me. Yeah.
no, she made a blanket statement and this is what she believes. And I'm like, just reading this going, you're absolutely insane. And then they throw in their fat in there, you know, like, well, and one girl had written, well, I know a Republican who's a pedophile. So are you saying all Republicans are pedophiles? And I'm like, but you literally say that all Republicans are whatever the word of the day is,
Right.
you know, fascist, racist, whatever. And then said, and you should go check out this website. It might help you. And it was a website for mental health counseling. It's like,
I love you.
yeah, you Nazi.
Yeah.
How dare you put your hand over your heart?
I don't remember Hitler ever doing that.
No.
He never said, I love you people.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. He turned around and he was like sending his heart.
Out.
And then he turned to the people behind him.
And did it again.
Thank you. I love you.
You
Thank
evil
you.
Nazi, you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
just despicable.
That's part of the problem, you know, just like your post, you know, there was a few people that came at me with comments and I actually am not getting the notifications for it now.
Oh, yeah.
That there's
probably
comments back because
Facebook likes to play like that too.
I just know that because I was on the correct side or well, in my opinion, the correct side. But that's part of the reason why, like, I listened to what Joe Rogan talks about because he was asked, like, how do you deal with the hate? How do you deal with all the people that come at you with the hate and the vitriol? And he's like, yeah, it's called post and ghost. I post what I want to post. And I don't ever read a comment, not a single one. I don't read the positives. I don't read the negatives. I let them fight it out amongst themselves.
Oh, yeah.
Because it will make you crazy. It makes you crazy because when you're reading these people that are so unhinged, you're like, how in the world did you get that from that? Like, you're nuts.
Totally.
So unless you want to, and I do that since I read that with Joe Rogan, if it's something that I perceive might be a controversial statement or a controversial thing that people might get heated over, I post and ghost. I don't go back and look at the comments. And if there's positive comments that support my comment, I don't respond to them any more than I respond to the ones that send their hate mail. Because I look at it kind of like the bully in school. You know, the kid behind you pulling your hair. He's tugging on your hair and he's stop it. Stop it. The more you told him to stop it, the more he's going to do it.
Right.
So if you just ignore the kid pulling your hair, he's just going to go away.
Right.
And what I like the most out of what Joe Rogan said is you let them fight it out amongst themselves. Your people will have your back and they will literally fight it out amongst themselves and you will be like out of the picture.
Right.
So he gets less hate mail at him because they go after him at first, but then when they start fighting amongst themselves, they forgot Joe Rogan's the one that posted the post in the first place. Now they're mad at
each other.
Right, and let them fight it out.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, the person who posted it in the first place, they're like, "What were we fighting? Who posted this anyway?" And I have done that deliberately a few times where later I went and just deleted my post. But their comments will still be in their comment things with each other. But then the post is gone and they're like, well, I wonder how many times people go, what were we even fighting about again? I don't remember.
Probably.
Yeah, because they don't even know. There's an infection. And I can't say there's an infection on the left. There's an infection of fighting to win the fight. regardless of which side you're on, there are plenty of Republicans that poke the bears.
Mhm.
And I mean, I do
They
it. We
do.
just both admitted we put trolling comments
Mhm.
sometimes just to see what people will say.
Mhm.
So you can expect the little vitriol if you do
Mhm.
it on purpose.
Right.
But at the same time, like, if you know that's what to expect, you know, then let them fight it out amongst themselves. I mean, I look at it like the guy in the line at the concert when you're all standing in line to get in, and or in the beer line and you're all getting the beer, and the one guy turns around and grabs the girl's ass, and then he turns around and
Mhm.
he's looking up at the sky doing his thing, whatever, and then the two guys behind him, and she slaps one of them, and he's not even the guy that did it, and then all of a sudden there's a big brawl and fight there because he started a
Mhm.
fight, and it was him all along.
Mhm.
But the other guy's like, "Why'd you just touch my girlfriend? I didn't touch your girlfriend. I'm gonna tell you now." And he's sitting there
Right.
going,
Right.
"Look at these two."
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's giggling about it. He's thinking it's funny.
Mhm.
And I think that there's an awful lot of Republicans that do that. There's also an awful lot of liberals that do that. The things I get involved in the most is when it's hypocrisy.
Mhm.
I think I jump in on things the most when it's hypocritical. It's you can't even see what you're doing. You
Mhm.
can't even see what your side is doing. Don't
Mhm.
and when they said things like it's illegal for Trump to have a car, they're like it's not illegal for him to say I'm buying a car. And if these people, I'm sure they're probably, I haven't seen it yet, but there's probably some CNN, Rachel Maddow. Hey, Mad Cow, where are you? You have failed me on this boat. You have to do your report about how wrong it is for Trump to use government money to buy a Tesla. Because I need you to do that one so that everybody can jump on that little bandwagon. Because you know good and damn well he didn't pay for it with government money.
Yeah.
You know good and well he bought it with his own money.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't put it past him that he's like, well, I have 30 staffers, you know, junior
Mhm.
staffers, you know, the younger people that are working on his staff, and go like, you know, I should just buy 30 of them. And that way everybody here gets a Tesla. You get a Tesla, and you get a Tesla, and you get a Tesla, and you get a Tesla. You know, like
Yeah.
Elon can buy Teslas himself.
Yeah.
You know,
he
all the people
can.
in Doge, he could be like, you
Yeah.
know what? We're gonna make Doge car of Doge, the Tesla
Mhm.
Cybertruck.
Mhm.
You know, we are cyber tech support, so we might
Yeah.
as well give everybody on Doge and he can pay for them out of, and he is the type of person that he would buy them at the price, because, and somebody even asked what deal was Musk giving him, and he said, I don't want a discount. I don't want the Elon Musk discount. I
Mhm.
probably could. He'd probably give me a great deal. I could probably buy it at whatever the cost is. He's like, but that's not the point. I'm trying to support the employees that are working for Tesla. He's like, and he made it clear, I'm not doing this to support Elon. I'm doing this to support the company Tesla because it has American employees. It is like the primary American made car.
Mhm.
So I'm doing this to support the people who build the car. Like, I'm not doing this to pad Elon's pocket. Like, if that was the case, I could just write Elon a check and hand it to him,
Right.
and it's signed to Elon. It's
Right.
not written to Tesla.
Yeah.
You
like,
know?
it's so dumb. That doesn't even make sense.
No, absolutely not. But anyway, our time is up. Well, we technically have 2 minutes for our hour and 30 minutes,
Oh,
but
okay.
I think we're fine since we were slightly late for working purposes, but that's okay. We
Yeah.
made it here. And we will be here again tomorrow, 7:10.
Maybe.
Somewhere
I
between.
might be on my way to Florida though.
Someone might be hightailing into Florida to get out of the
Escape
weather.
to escape.
Yeah.
I'm going to escape.
Are you going to be an illegal?
I don't know. Like
an illegal
no, I'm
Floridian?
not going to that border.
No,
I'm
just an
going
illegal Floridian.
illegal Floridian.
Yeah.
Is that a thing?
No.
Okay, good.
And don't worry, it's not illegal to be illegal
I'm like,
anyway.
I guess not. Well, shit. Well, and I was thinking too, like, because so I'm a dual citizen of Canada
Oh,
and
you
of
are?
the
Okay.
United States.
Are you Canadian?
Dude, no, my dad was French Canadian, so like he was from Montreal.
Oh, okay.
So it's
You
kind of
look
interesting. But
Canadian. No,
I do. I kind of look
you
Canadian.
do. You do a little bit.
But like, I don't know where to sit now. I'm like, what the fuck do the rest of people do? Because like, I love America, but like, I have no beef with Canada because I'm actually a Canadian citizen. Like, I can legit go there today and move there.
The
But
thing with the a lot of the people that are from Canada that are talking about it and talking so strongly about it is how Canada has just become communist.
yeah, it's
It
bad.
is
up
really
there.
bad.
It
in
really
Canada.
is bad up there.
Like really bad.
Yeah,
They're friendly maybe,
yeah.
but their politics and the way that they're treating their people. And I mean, Trudeau left, and now Trudeau's out, and he's gone, and this interim person is in while they're doing their election cycle. Hopefully, this other guy that's really more conservative gets elected. But there are an awful lot of Canadians that are saying they really wish.
Says it that way? Who says it like that?
People from
I've never heard it said like that.
I can't remember.
Like Wisconsin people?
No. It's a comedian that says, "I'm from Canada. I'm from Canada." Yeah, I can't remember. He's Canadian.
Okay.
I can't remember who he was, but he was making fun of somebody from the U.S. saying Canadian, because Canada and Canadian.
Gotcha.
And so he was making fun of somebody that was it's pronounced Canadian.
Yeah.
Canadian.
What's Canada? Canada.
Yeah. Are you a Canadian? Yeah. I can't remember which. It's an old one from like SNL days of the past.
Okay.
Yeah. Like old stuff. But
how funny.
There's an awful lot of people that are talking about how they really wish that it wasn't just a tariff thing that he was doing, that he really was serious about wanting to take on Canada as another state. Now I know that would never happen. I don't think it could ever happen.
I think it might be good.
But
like I was watching something this morning, and it was talking about like from the point of view of the Arctic Circle, and like it made so much sense. I'm like, oh yeah.
Well, and there's been some with
Canada
Greenland right now.
Greenland.
There's been some things with Greenland where they voted for independence, and it was a landslide victory for separation from Denmark. And I have my tears with that because I have a child. I have a daughter in Denmark. Yeah, she's not my blood. She's not my child. Let me just clarify before anybody comes at me. She was my exchange student, but we fell in love with her, and now we have a Danish daughter. And, I don't know how much the Danes would feel about that. The actual Danes, I'm not talking about political leaders of Denmark, but the actual Danes, how they feel about that, because they already are one of the smallest countries. Like she said it a million times. War breaks out, we're giving up in 3 hours.
Oh, right. Like, yeah.
Whatever side you need us on, we're with you, because they don't have a fight.
Bless them. Yeah, no, they don't.
They don't have a fight. They don't have a big enough military. They don't have a fight. So whoever looks like you're gonna take, well, just please don't kill any of us.
Right.
It's okay. Vikings at your liege, or whatever. But which is sad considering Vikings were so tough at one point in time. But I don't know how the Danish people feel about losing Greenland if it were to come, because that's not what has happened. They voted for independence from Denmark. Then they might vote to be part of the U.S. And it wouldn't be another state; it would be a territory.
Right.
You know,
Right.
just like we have other territories. You know, Costa Rica.
Costa Rica or Puerto Rico.
Yeah, Puerto Rico. I'm trying to say Costa Rico. But that's a territory,
Right.
not a state.
Right.
And people quite often think it's also considered another state. It's not. It's a territory.
Same with the Virgin Islands. Same with
it's a territory, not a state.
Yeah.
So, you know,
it would just give us more land mass on the planet, and
and there's minerals and stuff that we could mine from there.
Yeah.
Certain things, fish, apparently fish.
Yeah, probably lots of fish.
Probably lots of fish. So, you know, I don't know how the people there would really truly feel about it. I don't have an opinion either way.
Yeah, I don't really either.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't have a dog in that fight.
Not at all.
Other than I don't want our Danish daughter to be upset about it, because I wouldn't want her to be upset. But at the same time, she was really mad that the queen stepped down. You know, she's like, you ain't dead yet. Why are you stepping down? Like, now there's no queens. Now all the queens are gone. She was really mad about it.
Wow.
Really mad about it. And she wanted to be there when it happened, and she did it with 14 days notice. What's wrong with you? Like, I'm Danish. I want to be there. She was on her exchange year. There was no way she could be there for it.
Oh, wow.
So she was like livid that the queen decided to step down and give 2 weeks notice. This is not a job. Like, you just give your 2 weeks notice and I'm going to go be a nanny somewhere else. You know, like, you're the queen of Denmark. You don't just,
Yeah.
2 weeks notice, I'm going on vacation.
Yeah.
You know, like, you're supposed to be the queen till you die.
I know, that's weird.
Not step down because you're bored with it or whatever.
That's weird.
But anyway, so all I can say is, in our own lives, maybe we should think about what we're saying and doing, and whether or not we're portraying a hypocritical attitude or hypocritical response. Try yourself not to be so hypocritical and look at it from both sides. And if you're going to start a fight, be prepared for the fight, or do like Joe Rogan does, post and ghost and just watch him fight it out. Now, he does say, and I've heard him say this, post and ghost doesn't mean every now and then he doesn't go in and watch the blood bath that's occurring because of something. Like, let them fight it out, but sometimes you got to go in there and go like, I did that.
For sure.
Anyway, come back and see us again tomorrow. We'll be here from 7 to 8:30. Half of us might be here.
Yeah.
If we have really bad storming going on, neither of us might be here. So if we're not here,
well, it's not supposed to start tomorrow.
Well, they did change it to Friday.
Well, overnight, though.
Right, overnight. So it just all depends.
But if I'm going to be not here,
I'm going to be
leaving early
enough. Yeah. Well, anyway, don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow, and share with your friends. And we will be back either tomorrow or Monday. And I'll be putting some stuff together this weekend for Monday, having a little bit more detailed content. I've been working on that for a week now, and I'll be continuing to add stuff as we go. So I have some more content to show you while we're doing the show. But anyway, until then, we will see you all next week. Have a great day, and remember to be kind to one another. I'm going to steal whoever's line that was. I'm not going to say her name. I know her name, but be kind to one.
Thank you for watching Girl Talks live broadcast. which airs weekdays at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Don't forget to send in your Dear Margaret questions. Then join us for our opinion-based answers. We love having you. Thanks for taking the time to be with us tonight. Don't forget to like, follow, subscribe, and share with your friends. We'll see you tomorrow. Good night. Good night.